Hello and welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we will present World Cup football ending ceremony news, the grand final match stories, and we'll give you a tour from local sports to international sports including MMA, golf, tennis, auto race, boxing, NFL and some more sports news. So let's explore today's sports world. Lionel Messi, wearing a black Qatari robe over his blue and white Argentina t-shirt, kissed the World Cup, shuffled toward his teammates and hoisted the golden trophy high in the air. Messi's once-in-a-generation career is complete. He is a World Cup champion in probably the widest final in the tournament's 92-year history. Argentina won its third World Cup title by beating France 4-2 in a penalty shootout after a 3-3 draw featuring two goals from the 35-year-old Messi and a hat-trick by his heir apparent, France forward Kylian Mbappe. Amid the chaos inside Lusail Stadium, Mbappe did all he could to emulate Brazil's great play as a champion at his first two World Cups, even scoring the first hat-trick in a final since Geoff Hurst for England in 1966. Now there is no debate. Messi joins Pelé, a record three-time World Cup champion, and Diego Maradona, the late Argentina great with whom Messi was so often compared, in an exclusive club of the best soccer players of all time. Messi achieved what Maradona did in 1986 and dominated a World Cup for Argentina. He scored 7 goals and embraced the responsibility of leading his team out of those dark moments after a shocking 2-1 loss to Saudi Arabia in the group stage. Playing in the spirit of Maradona, Messi coupled his dazzling skills with rarely seen aggression and led Argentina to the title by becoming the first man in a single edition of the World Cup to score in the group stage and then in every round of the knockout stage. Light, art, poetry, music, and fireworks, Qatar puts on a classic World Cup closing ceremony. They came to Lusail iconic stadium for the match, the conclusion to a historic World Cup, the first in the Middle East. A month of drama, theatre, passion, skill, and luck coming to its climax on Qatar's National Day. But before the final kicked off, there was the small matter of the closing ceremony, a spectacular performance in front of nearly 90,000 fans in the stadium and a currently unknown number of millions around the world. FIFA promised a night to remember, and it was certainly a night few here will forget. Following an opening ceremony that celebrated the bridging of differences, the final ceremony lasted 15 minutes and referenced the world coming together for the 29 days of the tournament through poetry and music. A Night to Remember featured a mashup of songs from the official soundtrack, marking memorable moments of the tournament. A spectacular light show preceded every game of the tournament, and the final was no different. The closing ceremony featured a collaboration between Puerto Rican reggaeton singer Ozuna and French rapper Gims. Also performing at the closing ceremony were Moroccan-Canadian singer Noura Fatehi, Emirati pop star Bilqis, Iraqi musician Rahma Riyad, and Moroccan vocalist Manal. After finally winning the World Cup, Lionel Messi made his strongest case yet to be considered soccer's greatest player of all time. It will never be possible to say definitively, though, even after Argentina's 4-2 penalty shootout victory over France on Sunday in the final at Lusail Stadium. Messi has been his country's inspiration throughout the tournament in Qatar and scored twice in the game that finished 3-3 through extra time. It's just crazy that it became a reality this way, Messi said. I craved for this so much. I knew God would bring this gift to me. I had the feeling that this was the one. Kylian Mbappe certainly made Messi work for a golden trophy that had eluded him throughout his storied career. The France forward scored a hat-trick as the defending champions came back from 2-0 down and then evened the match again after Messi made it 3-2 in extra time. But this was Messi's night and Messi's World Cup. It took so long, but here it is, Messi said. We suffered a lot, but we managed to do it. Now a look at some of the highlights of the tournament and the low points. Best Player. Lionel Messi owned the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player. He has never played better at a World Cup, scoring 7 goals, providing 3 assists, and being Argentina's star player in all 7 of its matches. He has also made a record 26 appearances at the World Cup to break Lothar Matthäus' record. Biggest Flop. Considering his name and profile and the drama he had created by an explosive pre-tournament interview, Portugal superstar Cristiano Ronaldo could hardly have had a worse tournament. Okay, he converted a penalty against Ghana to become the first man to score at 5 different World Cups, but nothing else went right for the player currently without a club. Best Goal. Brazil striker Richarlison had his back to the goal when he used one touch to flick the ball up in the air near the penalty spot, then spun around and leaped off the ground to deliver a spectacular acrobatic kick into the net. It sealed a 2-0 win over Serbia in the group stage and made Brazilians tournament. Best Save. There were 20 seconds remaining of stoppage time in extra time in the final when France striker Randall Kolo Muani went clean through on Argentina goalkeeper Emi Martinez. The win, the title, was there for France, but Martinez stuck out his left leg to keep the ball out. Most disappointing team. Belgium arrived as the second-ranked team and with some of the most famous players in the world. They scored 1 goal, didn't get out of their group, and coach Roberto Martinez left his role. Germany, exiting from the group stage for the second straight World Cup, is a close second. Best Quote. I had the feeling that this was the one, Lionel Messi, after winning the World Cup for the first time. Luka Modric high-fived and embraced his Croatia teammates after what was likely the midfield greats' last appearance at the World Cup. Some of the Morocco players sank to their knees in dismay, while others went in search of the referee to complain. So much for this being a meaningless game. Croatia ended up taking 3rd place at the World Cup after a 2-1 win over Morocco at Khalifa International Stadium on Saturday. To some, the 3rd place match is considered to be little more than an exhibition between 2 losing semi-finalists. The day before the match, Morocco coach Walid Regragui described it as a booby prize. However, as the final whistle blew on Morocco's historic run at the World Cup, the disappointment was clear to see. So too was the delight on Croatian faces. Modric, at the age of 37 and the serial winner of soccer's biggest prizes with Real Madrid, could not keep the smile from his face as he went up to collect his bronze medal. This medal is very important for us, for me, for my country, for Croatia as a national team, Modric said. We confirm with this medal that Croatia is playing an important role in the world of football. We are leaving Qatar as winners. Argentines let loose on Sunday, and streets across the country became places of celebration after an epic World Cup final in which the national team beat France on penalties. It was the country's 3rd World Cup title and the first since 1986. Millions of Argentines cried, yelled, and hugged as they followed the game, which was a roller coaster of emotions. Throughout the match, many watching in a public square in Buenos Aires chanted the name of Captain Lionel Messi, often considered the world's greatest soccer player, who had long talked about how he yearned for a World Cup victory. After 36 long years, Argentina finally won a World Cup title, erasing years of doubts and questions about whether a country known for having some of the world's greatest soccer players could really perform on an international stage. The country won its first title in 1978 but lost finals in 1930, 1990 and 2014. Primetime finally likes the New York Giants, and now they are a huge step closer to making the playoffs. Kevin Thibodeau thrived on the national stage just like he promised. Daniel Jones shined under the lights to end his career-long skid in night games, and New York held on to beat the Washington Commanders 2012 on Sunday after a goal line stand that ended with a questionable non-call. after declaring, "Prime time likes me." Thibodeaux was a force rushing the passer and bursting into the backfield early and often. The talented rookie striped Taylor Hennig off the ball, recovered it to score a touchdown, and finished with 3 tackles for loss among his game-high 12 before getting poked in the left eye and getting helped off with 48 seconds left. Asked about performing under the bright lights, Thibodeaux said, "Nothing is a coincidence. It's not a coincidence." He spoke up on the field before the game and inspired veteran teammates with his words. Rayshon Jenkins snatched the ball inches from the ground and raced the other way. He could have played it safe and taken a knee or stepped out of bounds. But this wasn't the time or place, not for a guy who had never returned an interception for a touchdown. Not in the NFL, not in college, not in high school, not even as a kid playing pee-wee football in Florida. So Jenkins had one thought: score. Jenkins intercepted Dak Prescott's tipped pass in overtime and returned it 52 yards for a touchdown that gave the Jacksonville Jaguars a stunning 40-34 victory over the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. The ball New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge hit for his American League record 62nd home run has sold for $1.5 million at auction. The price is the second highest paid for a baseball auction, according to Goldin Executive Chairman and founder Ken Goldin. He identified the buyer as a prominent Midwestern businessman and collector. Bidding on the ball opened on November 29 and ended Saturday. The minimum opening bid was set at $1 million. The home run ball was consigned to Goldin in November by Corey Humans. He was sitting in the front row of Section 31 in left field at Globe Life Field on October 4 when Judge led off the second game of a doubleheader between the Yankees and Rangers and connected. Humans snared the drive on the fly with his glove. Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers has a right foot injury that's expected to keep him sidelined for several weeks, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. The severity of the injury was still being determined Sunday, and that was keeping the team from forming a specific timetable for his return, said the person who spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because neither Davis nor the Lakers had released any information publicly. The Athletic first reported that Davis was facing an extended absence, and multiple media outlets also confirmed the injury status. Before the Lakers hosted Washington on Sunday night, Darvin Ham confirmed the team has no firm timetable for Davis' return. The rookie head coach said Davis will see more specialists on Sunday night. Nikola Jokic had 40 points and a career-high 27 rebounds in yet another triple-double to help the Denver Nuggets beat the Charlotte Hornets 119-115 on Sunday night. Jokic also had 10 assists for his fifth triple-double of the season and 81st overall. He had 20 rebounds in the first half. Wilt Chamberlain is the only other player with at least 40 points, 27 rebounds and 10 assists in an NBA game. He did it 4 times, the last when he had 53 points, 32 rebounds and 14 assists for Philadelphia on March 18, 1968. Jokic sealed the victory with 2 free throws with 13 seconds left. Nuggets coach Michael Maloney said he didn't realize the numbers Jokic was putting up during the course of the game, particularly the amount of rebounds. "I didn't know it was a 40-27-10 night, but I knew he was having another Nikola Jokic stellar performance efficient," Malone said. "And it's not just about Nikola, it's about his ability to make every one of his teammates better." The Carolina Hurricanes host the New Jersey Devils as winners of 5 straight games. Carolina is 19-6-6 overall and 6-1-0 against the Metropolitan Division. The Hurricanes have gone 16-1-2 in games they scored 3 or more goals. New Jersey has gone 21-8-2 overall with a 5-4-1 record in Metropolitan Division play. The Devils have an 8-3-1 record when they commit fewer penalties than their opponent. The matchup Tuesday is the 6th time these teams square off this season. The Hurricanes won 6-3 in the previous meeting. The New York Rangers visit the Pittsburgh Penguins looking to continue a 7-game win streak. Pittsburgh is 18-9-4 overall with a 4-1-1 record in Metropolitan Division games. The Penguins rank 9th in NHL play with 107 total goals. New York is 18-10-5 overall with a 3-4-0 record against the Metropolitan Division. The Rangers are 4-4-4 in one-goal games. The teams play Tuesday for the 6th time this season. The Rangers won the last matchup 4-3 in overtime. Jeon Clark continues to defy expectations. Clark, a 25-year-old former collegiate wrestler born with no legs due to a rare birth disorder, won his professional MMA debut on Saturday, sweeping the judges' scorecards to earn a unanimous decision over Eugene Murray at Gladiator Challenge season's beatings, which took place at the Valley Center in San Diego, California. Clark, who doubles as the Guinness World Record holder for the first person to walk on their hands, used his wrestling base to take down and outwork Murray over the course of the 3-round bout. Clark's incredible journey to athletic success has previously been showcased in the documentary Zion, which tells the inspirational story of the Ohio native whose path saw him stuck in the foster care system for years before finding his way. Venus Williams has been awarded a wildcard entry to play at the Australian Open next month, 25 years after she played the Grand Slam tournament for the first time. The 42-year-old Williams has reached the final twice in Australia, including a loss to her younger sister, Serena, in the 2017 championship match. She will be contesting the season-opening major for the 22nd time. Venus and Serena Williams combined to win the Australian Open women's doubles title 4 times, and Venus also won the mixed doubles title in 1998 with fellow American Justin Gimelstob. Serena Williams will not be contesting the January 16 to January 29 tournament at Melbourne Park after announcing at the US Open that she was ready to evolve away from tennis. Tiger Woods and 13-year-old son Charlie weren't about to let a bad foot and a bum ankle keep them from playing together in the PNC Championship. The way they played Saturday, they might even be able to win it. The partnership Woods referred to as Team Ice Bath because of their injuries finished with a 13 under 59 in the scramble format, 2 shots behind Justin Thomas and his father, club professional Mike Thomas. Team Thomas won the championship belt 2 years ago, when Woods first introduced Charlie to a national television audience at the PNC Championship. They rubbed it in our face over Christmas dinner. They are in a great position to possibly do it again on Christmas dinner, Woods said. But we are going to have a little something to say about that. Even being in the mix, much less the last group, looked unlikely the way father and son were hobbling around the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club Orlando. Woods, limping from plantar facilities in his right foot, chipped in for eagle from behind the 5th green, hit whatever shot was needed and closed out the front 9 with putts of 20 feet and 35 feet. Charlie's left ankle hurt to the point that he dropped to his knees after he topped his tee shot on the par 5 5th hole. The young teen contributed a wedge to 3 feet for their first birdie, a 20-footer during their big run when they played an 8-hole stretch in 9 under par. Charlie finished the round with a 6-foot birdie putt, stopping to pick up his father's coin before the ball even went into the cup. Former Haas F1 team and Ferrari junior Mick Schumacher will remain in Formula One next year after taking up a reserve position with Mercedes. Schumacher spent the past 2 seasons racing in Formula One for Haas but was not retained after the team opted to recruit veteran Nico Hülkenberg. Schumacher scored points in only 2 events in 2022 in Britain and Austria, as he trailed teammate Kevin Magnussen in the standings. Schumacher also enjoyed a 4-year association with Ferrari, which backed his career, but that was not renewed in the wake of his Haas departure. The 23-year-old has now taken up a reserve position at the team, for which his father, Michael, raced from 2010 to 2012. Schumacher will carry out regular work in Mercedes simulator at Brackley in the UK and will also attend all of the Grand Prix in 2023 as backup to Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Schumacher replaces Nick de Vries and Stoffel Vandoorne in the role. The former Mercedes Formula E racers jointly held the position, but De Vries has now joined the Formula One grid with AlphaTauri, and Vandoorne has switched to a co-reserve role at Aston Martin. Erebus Motorsport has confirmed that it will field a pair of Coca-Cola-backed Camaros in supercars next season, as exclusively flagged by motorsport.com in October. Coca-Cola will shift its backing from Premier Racing to Erebus next season. A naming rights deal with Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific partners will see the team run its pair of Camaros under the Coca-Cola Racing by Erebus banner. The deal is an extension of the minor sponsorship deal between CCEP and Erebus that has been in place for several seasons. Coca-Cola has been prominent in supercars in recent seasons, backing Macaulay Jones at Brad Jones Racing in 2021 and then Chris Peter at Premier this season. However, this Erebus deal marks the first time there will be two Coca-Cola cars on the supercars grid since the 1996 season with Wayne Gardner Racing. Clarissa Shields' team will explore the possibility after Savannah Marshall declares she has activated rematch clause. Promoter Ben Shalom believes that Marshall will be better in rematch but benefit from a fight or two first. Natasha Jonas also considered for showdown with Shields. America's two-time Olympic gold medalist Shields beat Marshall in an epic clash to win the undisputed middleweight championship in October. The star from Hartlepool declared she wanted to bring the rematch to Newcastle's St. James Park Stadium next summer. Shields' team has responded, telling Sky Sports that they are prepared to explore the possibility. That's all in today's Sports World. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports updates. Millennium TV USA and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment programs. Thank you.